Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, is cautioning the police against invading homes of members of Parliament as part of their investigations. He's urging the police to respect privileges of members of Parliament and approach his office anytime an MP is under investigation. His comment comes on the back of concerns raised by the minority in Parliament, accusing the police of harassment after armed police personnel reportedly stormed the home of Esutifi North MP Collins Dauda this dawn to arrest him. Information gathered indicates the armed police personnel were at Mr. Dauda's home in the constituency, claiming they had orders from above to arrest him, but his family told them he had already set off to Parliament. Let's get on the line and speak with parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo for more on this. Hello, Joseph. Joseph, if you hear me, is the Member of Parliament in Parliament now?
So he was in Parliament a little earlier in the morning, even until the Speaker spoke about this particular issue. In fact, I met him earlier in the morning and asked him that we'd gotten this information that the police were after him. And he said, yes, he's been told as such that the police are looking for him. And so he was in the chamber when the Speaker made the point that parliamentarians enjoy a certain privilege, which requires that even if the police would want to interrogate them, the police have no business showing up at their homes or anywhere to get hold of them. They need to get to Parliament and go through the right processes for the Speaker to give the green light. And so the Speaker indicated that when today's sitting comes to an end, what he was going to do is that he would let some leaders from Parliament escort the Honourable Collins Dauda so that they show up at the police headquarters. And his demand is specific, that in his words, wanted to play by sides. And so Collins Dauda would only be interrogated by the Director General in charge of Police CID, who is the Commissioner of Police, or an officer higher than that rank. And so after today's sitting, we would go to the premises of the police headquarters to go respond to any questions that they have. But he said he wouldn't want to see a repeat of the situation where they will storm the homes of MPs in order to attempt arresting them without going to the office of the Speaker.
And how do the other minority members of Parliament feel about this? We're told that they've been complaining. How do they feel about the Speaker's response to that particular story?
They are of the view that the issue is being approached by the Speaker as well as it ought to, except that they have concerns that this is something that happened a second or if not a third time. You recall that there was a similar incident in connection with John Sinapo and as well as Dr. Dominic Ayini, who is the MP for Bolga. And so this is more like the third or the fourth time this is happening to an MP. And they think that Munta Kamubaya specifically raises the concern that this is something that the police continue doing would negatively impact the growth of Ghana's democracy. So as the Speaker takes the necessary steps, we are expecting the police administration to take the necessary cue and not repeat such an act.
Joseph, tell us about the Star Times deal. We understand that there have been some sort of discussion about this in Parliament today.
The Communications Committee, chaired by Kennedy Japan, met to have a conversation about it. They are meeting officials from the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association. That's on Thursday. They've actually sent a petition to the committee over the expected deal, and they're asking the committee to intervene. And ahead of that meeting, the committee itself was having a conversation around how they should respond to the petition that's been brought before them. Soon after the meeting, I had a conversation with the Communications Minister, Eslo Usu, who has been insisting that Labour is being disingenuous, that's the word he uses, in their approach when it comes to the concern. He says that there's been situations of them trying to help local players in the industry like Caleb with such waivers, and so they don't see the concerns that are coming up. But he's been repeating the assurance that the country's digital terrestrial infrastructure would not be handed over to a Chinese company.
Joseph, thank you very much for that update. Joseph Opoku-Gakpo is parliamentary correspondent. This is still The Pulse with me, Gifty and Do Apia.